You're listening to Off the Stage with your hosts, James Berry and Conor Michael, where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world.
Well, hello there. A nice warm welcome to the Isis pub. Well, a nice blistering heatwave hot welcome to the Isis pub. We're here again for our next episode. How are you? You're dressed for it, so...
Yes, episode 6 in the sun.
Excellent. Let's get it started. Just wait for that to calm down. I use like to let it kind of like fade out. I should have made it fade out a little bit more because I've just kind of awkward silence until it fades out completely. But
yeah, you're the audio guy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm the guy that preps the episodes about 20 minutes before we press play.
Yeah, no. Don't worry about that. That's just a ambulance or police.
Every episode has a siren.
Yeah, I know, it's great. It's a part of the ambience.
But we'll start by introducing our guest.
Yes.
Put your hands together. We have India Arkin, if I pronounced that correct.
Yes.
The guest.
That was both a clap for pronouncing it correctly.
Good job.
Should have seen me struggle on Jack Milcrease's name. That was fun.
I know. We had a full 10-minute conversation of the video. Right, yeah, so I've been talking to one of my friends who's a big fan of the show. Hi, Vince. And I was just talking about what he kind of liked about the show and stuff, and he quite liked us introducing what we're having to drink and stuff like that. So I thought the first question to India would be, what you're drinking?
Well, as you know, I'm an absolute mad lad, so I've gone for a solid drink of water with shit tons of ice.
Well, to be fair, that's probably actually the wisest drink of them all in this weather.
Yeah, it's warm out and this is cold, so I'm appreciating it right now.
So it's, I mean, we all are like 80% water, aren't we? So
especially the ice is refillable, isn't it?
That is very true.
It melts after a while and
yes,
straight back up.
What about you, Conor? What have you? Well, I think it's advertised.
Well, I've got a lovely cold Madri. Had a bit of a rant a few episodes ago about how I didn't drink because I was going to a stag do, and then I really wanted a milk cider, and then the 1 week we came back to do it, they went, we don't do that anymore.
That's tragic.
I haven't really tried any home craft beers yet, but I think if we're going to keep doing this every week, we'll go, what are you drinking? I might try a different craft beer each week.
Go for it. The Isis have loads of different drink selections and stuff like that. Let's just have a little plug from the Isis.
Yeah.
And I'm on it's called a summer stout.
Ooh.
I've never heard of a stout be so summered.
I'm yet to taste the summer in the stout, but it's quite nice actually. As far as stouts go,
Guinness and raspberries.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like someone's put blackcurrant or strawberries in it. It doesn't taste like that, to be fair.
Nice.
But yeah. So anyway, we're all here.
Yes. So India is our first act that we haven't approached to come on the podcast.
Yes.
Normally we've been last minute going, Josh, do you fancy coming on the podcast? And again, that's not because we're like, we'll get him last minute. It's just I'm very lazy. Do it all at the end. But you're the first person on the podcast that's inboxed us to come on.
Interesting.
The podcast.
I didn't know that.
You're not the only person. There has been loads. We were meant to have someone on last week, but they couldn't do it for sickness. Hopefully they're on next week. Yeah. We've had many people from York and Dublin and Manchester want to be part of this.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
Wow,
Yeah,
checking out.
We're
That's
going
mental.
global. Yeah. So, who's been your favourite episode so far?
I
Why did you want to come on?
I mean, I got a soft spot because I know him as a musician anyway, but on your last episode, Josh, I just think he's got such a way with songwriting and stuff, and I really like the way that he talks about his music as well, because you can see it like really rings through him, and like it's fundamentally like in what he is, and he's so, the way that he writes stuff as well, like it's such a part of like his living experience. It's not separate from anything else he does, and I think that's really nice.
Yeah, to be fair, like I keep saying it, but the song Josh did last night is
brilliant.
Released on
Banger.
5th. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, I had to double check. Like, you definitely wrote that one. You know,
The entire podcast. We've recorded it today on the 12th. It's the 12th, isn't it?
I think so.
Yes.
Something like that. Josh's podcast came out today. I've listened to it twice so far.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favourites. So no offence to the other guys, they were all great, but they kind of get better and better. So you've kind of got a standard to be better than Josh now. That's
Damn.
Make it a competition.
It's a war.
It's fine. You just have
I'm
to
ready.
But you have to try and make sure it's so good that next week can't beat you. You've got to try and stay top of the pops.
We'll try, you know.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
But yeah, we got a couple of questions come through because we do that thing where we get a photo and we chuck your name on and go, right, what questions you want to know. And we had 2 of the similar questions sent through. So combined, it is, who is your biggest inspiration or influence in music and outside of music?
Ooh, that's a really good question. My biggest inspiration in music, does it have to be a single person?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I think I draw inspiration from a lot of places because my sound is, I don't know, I feel like I steal ideas from lots of different, like all over the place. It's a bit of a weird combo of stuff because I started out a bit more indie and now I've kind of transitioned into more psychedelic-y rock with like pop elements and things like that. I think in terms of bigger house names, Matilda Mann, Mild High Club are always ones that come up for me because I'm just obsessed with with Mild High Club, they do such crazy sounds and I love the jazzy elements and all of that kind of thing. And then Matilda Mann has just got this like beautiful, intimate, soft voice that I am endlessly obsessed with, to be quite honest. But then equally, I think, so I work with session musicians for my band, and it's a rotating mix of people, and every time I'm working with someone new, because obviously they come from different backgrounds, like I had a jazz drummer, I've worked with rock guitarists, but then other people have done more bluesy things, and every time everyone's got their own little take on things, and obviously they've got experience outside of how they've grown as a musician. I think I'm constantly learning from that, so it's kind of from everywhere. And then I guess outside of music, so I'm a fine arts student, so it kind of pulls through everything else, and Grayson Perry has always been like a huge inspiration for me through everything. Like I love I think the way his mind work is just incredible, and I like how he wants to explore like multifaceted means of creating experience for people, and it's something I really want to try and bring into my music experience as well. Cool. Like I want to move on for it to be like not only just being completely sound based, but bringing like art into it and building things for shows and making it this like weird mix of like visuals and noise and I mean that's part of the process. I mean that being an artist, it's not necessarily just the music alone, it's kind of
performance.
I mean 100%.
We were actually talking about this with it was Josh last week about how creating an album itself is an art form in itself, like
100%.
outside of just the songs. It's the structure, it's the theme, it's just a bit of everything. So if the fact you're thinking about that is really good. You know who I've been listening to your back catalogue on Spotify, and do you know who you remind us of that in terms of your voice anyway? Have you ever heard of Laura Marling?
I've been told that before.
Yeah, have you seen? I thought so,
yeah.
Because you've got that. Because you the way you sing, it's quite like a Middle English accent. It's quite nice. It's because most people whenever they sing songs, it's always like in an American accent. So it's always nice if it's an English artist to sing in an English accent. It's
it's so funny you say that, because I remember when I put my first song out, Dashboard Dancing, I went back home to do, because my first gig was back down south, and I was like sofa surfing at the time, and with one of my friends, and I'd shown him the song for the first time, and he was like, your voice doesn't sound anything like your speaking voice, I think. And he genuinely thought I'd played a song by someone else when I showed him the song, because he was like, that's that weird disconnect, which I thought was a really interesting thing. But yeah.
So you ever heard of the Rolling Stones?
No.
He definitely doesn't speak the same way that he sings.
No.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Well, he's like a Londoner, Nick Jagger, but he talks like he talks like he's from down south, but because he's influenced by the blues and stuff like that. He sings like he's from the Mississippi,
It's like Adele, innit?
Yeah.
Like a voice of a songbird, but when you hear her talk, it's proper like landing.
Oh god.
Brav.
Yeah, no.
I have a tendency of having a different accent, not for like on stage, but depending on where I'm at. So we went to a wedding the other week, and the first time I ordered a pint, it was very posh and privileged, and everyone was like, "Where the fuck did that come from?" It's my customer service voice. Like I'm on the phone with my missus, going through the drive-through, and I'll just be normal talk. And some posh accent comes out, and I just have a Big Mac and The fuck are you saying?
Yeah, God.
But I don't know where it comes from. It was when I used to work in call centres, and I'd have a call centre voice. It was half Brummie, half Irish, half Cockney, half Geordie.
Whoever, depends on who's talking.
It would just say, I don't know what came out, but people look and go, that's not you. Well, that's what was recorded. I'm not sure how different I sound vocally singing to talking, but I have different accents for who I'm speaking to, I think.
Good. So whereabouts are you from originally then?
It's kind of. I'm from.
Where did you grow? Because obviously I don't like. The first time I've kind of known about you is when you messaged to come on the podcast. So I'm always just curious about.
Basically, it's kind of weird with that because my family, when I was younger, basically we travelled countries throughout time growing up. So we didn't really have one home base. But before I came up to Newcastle, I was in Hertfordshire, kind of just outside of London. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just like, honestly, I'm naked with accents, to be fair. Like, I was just trying to, I thought it was down southern, yeah.
Yeah. In the
Anyone
northern
that
world.
says Newcastle, like Newcastle. It's kind of
yeah.
south, innit?
So are you just at uni in Newcastle, or you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice one. That's pretty cool. Did we have any questions?
We did, yes.
We did.
Yeah.
Shall we start
Do you
with
want me to ask one?
We shall ask. Well, I've been asking a few questions, but you have. I noticed you've got your twitching on your notepad. You know, just desperate to.
Organisation.
I know. Well,
it's not.
We like to pretend.
An hour ago.
We like to pretend to be professional, you know, with all these fancy gadgets, but we're really not.
Yeah. To be fair, we got one question left on the pot. And again, this was like an Instagram thing. Who would your dream collaboration be?
Oh, that is a hard question.
Mine would be Ollie Murs, not gonna lie.
Why Ollie Murs?
Massive Ollie Murs fan. I've seen him 6 times live. Do you know the greatest thing about seeing Ollie Murs as a bloke is when you need the toilet, no queue. It's like I went to the utility arena, had my own personal toilets and everything. It was great.
Used by you and Ollie Murs.
Pretty much, same ones, yeah.
VIP experience.
But yeah, I've been a massive fan since he went to X Factor, and he'd probably be one of my inspirations because he didn't win the show, but he went on to be one of the best ones.
Yeah.
And it kind of proves you don't have to be the best to make the most of what you get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just work hard enough, and you get there. You know?
Yeah. So I'm a massive Ed Sheeran fan, but I was probably Ollie Murs first. So it kind of be mint to get a collab with the first person that gets you into that inspiration role.
It means a lot.
Yeah, it'd be probably my best collab.
Yeah.
Who would mine be? That's also another difficult question.
It's kind of odd, but normally we prep you a day before and go, here's the questions, and
it's been thrown
just
on me.
chucked you
It's
in
alright.
the
You're
house.
challenging me. It's alright. It means I have to use my brains. God, who would I pick? I really love. I mean, if I'm going to go more mainstream, I'd always say Billie Eilish, because I just think she's doing incredible things, and she's completely redefining popular music and popular culture, I think, at the minute. And I think she has some really important messages that she puts out. And to be honest, I've been a huge fan since fairly early on in her stuff. But
your sounds would work well as well. You kind of make them
different.
Then they would work. Is it the right kind of artist to do
I'll say that. I sounds like a compliment. Yeah, I'd love to work with her. But if it was on a smaller scale, I mean, there's a lot of local musicians even that I really love who I think are doing crazy stuff. The Newcastle scene right now is mental. There's so much happening.
We said that last episode.
Honestly.
We said the Newcastle scene is just Sam Fender, allegedly. But when you actually look into it, there's so many acts that if they were at his level would be selling out arenas so much.
Honestly.
They don't get as much.
This is why I want to do. I want to, because it's a scene, but it's almost, I don't know, it feels like it's split a little bit, and it's just a bit scattered, and I think one thing I like to do with this podcast is bring everyone, everyone in, so everybody's been on the podcast, so there's something in common with everyone, you know, and it's because there's so much good talent, especially in Newcastle.
Truly,
everybody's like, let's go to London because that's where all the bit. No, everyone mint is in Newcastle. Yeah. It's just all the producers and record deals are all in London. That's your issue, but the mint talent's up here.
Well, I just think also the way that the network of musicians kind of in Newcastle is at the minute is so lovely as well. Like, I was obviously down south before, but I wasn't playing as much. But honestly, the difference I've personally felt coming from doing music down south to doing music up north has been absolutely like. I was so surprised that there was such a difference, not only in like how other musicians are. Like, there's no toxicity between other people. Like there's genuine want to support other people, which I think is super unique and like how it should be.
It's important.
Yeah, you can't like I don't know. You've got to want to help.
Every big scene that's ever happened has been because all of the bands support each other.
Yeah.
You look like down south, the rock scene in the 60s. They're all just like the Rolling Stones, the Kinks. They all just used to play each other's gigs and support. And that, so they brought all their fan base round. The same with Liverpool. I mean, like obviously the Beatles were the big one that came out of there, but there was so many bands. The same in they're all the 60s to be fair, like, but the 60s, the folk scene in New York, where Bob Dylan came from. Everyone just supported each other. It was a huge thing. And it's a shame when you see bands kind of like competing negatively. It's all good to have like a bit of competition and stuff like that.
Friendly rivalry.
Yeah, just help each other out.
Well, we all here with the same intention at the end of the day, and I think music as a art form, or any creative means, is always known to be a struggle. But I don't think we need to contribute to that. There's no need to. I think there's so much room to lift each other up, and I really feel like that's what's been happening. I mean, Kate Bond and her. She's got that Newism project going on, and where they're really trying to encourage more women in music, which I just think is amazing. And then in the jazz scene as well, you've got Nats and you've got Swan Neck and things like that, and they're all just like collaborating together. And I just think seeing all of these different bands working together and these stupidly talented musicians playing with one another, it's like adding good on top of good. Like it's exciting.
That's cool. Like my collaboration. And just to come back to the question, I've had it in my head. I was like, no, it's all right. I like going on tangents and stuff like that. I just thought, we'll go around in a circle. But my Paul Simon, specifically Paul Simon's bass player, I'll just be like, listen, mate, I can't remember what he's called, but he just.
They're the ones that sing "Call Me Al."
Yeah, you can call me Al. It's Paul Simon. Just give us a beat, give us a bass drum, and I'll rap over it. I'll do anything. But yeah, Paul Simon. He's just, to me, such a cool cat.
A good little funk to add to your collaborations. Yeah.
He's got these. He's a genius. To be fair, like, so I would probably come up with a song and he'd be like, well, I would learn so much off him.
Yeah.
If we ever collabed. So Paul Simon, if you're watching.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Mint. I think that's the end of part one.
Yeah.
I'm going to refill my drink because it's a warm day.
Yep. Shall I put the refill button on?
May as well.
I'll put the food. Right. We'll be back. We'll be refilling the drinks. I'll be back shortly. Yes, we do have a refill button.
That's part
beautiful.
One. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. Just to let you guys know, I have my next single coming out August the 19th. I'm pushing for a pre-sale of CDs because we're gunning for a physical chart spot. I didn't rehearse this. We have to redo the advert because it was on the last pod that it was $2.49 due to VAT and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. It's now $2.99 per CD. So if you can spare that extra 50 pence, please do keep buying them. It would be great to finally get that little award in here. Pink and blue.
And we'll celebrate by drinking lots of beer and putting the award just there.
Yeah. I don't like that hand movement there, Vess.
I know, I don't know why I did that, to be honest. God, I just ruined the advert.
Back to the pod.
And welcome back. We've successfully poured our pints under the table. You've got another Madry. You've given me a surprise beer.
I have. Know. What do you rate it?
Let's have a look.
Out of 10.
I'm doing the slurpy thing for the audience.
That I was avoiding specifically.
It was just to show the people listening that I'm actually drinking it.
And if you want proof, find us on YouTube. We're Off the Stage.
He's
UK.
real. I've seen him in the flesh.
He's not. It's just lying.
I don't know what this is. It's like a.
I didn't ask what it was because I forgot what it was. Out of 10, how do you rate it?
It's nice. It's quite smooth.
All right.
It's got quite smooth texture to it. I'm gonna say It's a strong 7 out of 10.
Oh, really?
That's all right.
It's got a bit of the aftertaste.
Some kind of like mosaic ale.
But it goes down. It goes down an absolute treat. I was going to say, it sounds like an ale. It's
pear,
more summery than the
Just
summer.
tropical.
So that's a bit of a lie, is what you're saying.
I'm feeling a bit deceived
controversial.
by the summer stout. That's not summery at all. It's lovely, by the way.
Maybe
Is
that's
it
like
stouty?
British summer.
It's stouty. So
Okay, we've got half of it.
it's like it's like the Brexit vote. It's like 52% stouty, 48% not summery.
Sounds like Brexit, yeah.
Shit, boys.
So yeah. Well, anyway, I've got an endless amount to drink now, so
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and welcome back to part 2. Did we say that?
I don't think so.
I know. Well, welcome back to part 2.
Yes.
I was too excited by my surprise mystery drink.
You know what, we'll do that every week.
We should
Get a
do
surprise drink. per
surprise
person.
mystery drink. That's brilliant.
So yeah, part 2, normally the way we structure that, part 1 is like, here's some music shit, get to know yourself. Part 2 is just random stuff that we get asked in. We've only ever had one Shag, Marry, Avoid come in for, I think it was Jude's episode.
That's right.
Other than that, we've had like loads of Would You Rathers and stuff.
Okay.
So we'll go in with the Would You Rather.
Yeah.
And would you rather your entire internet search history be leaked? Everybody knows what you've got. Or all your thoughts were leaked and everybody knew what you were thinking. At all time
Ooh.
from beforehand as well.
Can I know your answers first?
Our internet history. Nothing to hide on there, but you never know what your thoughts can...
Well,
Oh, really? Okay.
the thing is, for me, it was the dilemma, because if you said your thoughts, people would be like, well, what are you hiding on the internet? Then if you said, I'll have my internet, you'd say, well, what are you really thinking about? So that's got me.
So which one did you pick?
I'd probably say internet, just because I quite like daydreaming and having my own thoughts to myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Thoughts can run wild, can't they? One day
Yeah.
it's all fine, and it goes from like innocent to extreme.
Yeah.
That's not something I would do. But
my internet history is just basically like camera review. Which one is the best?
don't even doubt that. Mine is how do you make a podcast?
Yeah.
The next one is how do you make a podcast without spelling mistakes? And then it's
I think I'm gonna go the other end of the spectrum. I want to be controversial,
Oh.
but not because I wouldn't want people to see my internet history. More because I think if you like everyone know your thoughts. Like, yeah, obviously there's gonna be like, you know, sometimes you think things that are like, I don't know, if someone's annoyed you and it's like a straight up thing,
Yeah.
because obviously there's no gap between processing it. But I just think you just be more honest, and even though maybe that'd get you in more situations, I think honesty
do you not have like
honest.
that
So it'd be-
family member that you're like, oh, I can't be asked to see them again, and then
Maybe I'd just avoid them.
yeah, but they would know because your thoughts were leaked, and they'd be like, India's
Shit.
thought this. And I'm like,
What? So it's like podcasted to
oh
everyone?
yeah, everyone will know your
Oh,
thoughts.
that changes the game.
No, that's it. Like,
I thought it was
everyone
like I
knows your
just like
internet.
speak my.
No,
it's-
your thoughts are leaked or your internet history is leaked.
I was thinking like it's kind of like liar,
Yeah.
liar.
Oh, I might
There you
change my
go.
answer then. Okay, yeah, no, that's a bit too much.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of like liar, liar, isn't it?
Invention of lying as well.
The invention of lying.
Like
It's,
that one.
Would you ever do one of those lie detector things?
I would, but I'm not confident in how accurate they are.
well, that was the controversy with the Jeremy Kyle thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them that are like, well, that was clearly... It
Yeah,
wasn't. Look at
quite
yourself.
obvious, yeah.
Not to judge a book by its cover, but it's how you buy books.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you'd just be stressed being on it though. It's like the fact that you know that you're like in a test situation. It's a bit like exams.
Yeah, I'd start
Yeah.
panicking going, well, I
for
haven't
no
done it, but it's
reason.
going to start thinking I have. And then
Yeah.
I'll be in my mind going, I've just said I have in my mind. Now it's picking it up. And I'd
Yeah.
go through that kind of
You
like...
just start shitting yourself for no
yeah,
reason.
I'd be like, I haven't done it.
Yeah, I'd be useless at them anyway. Although I'd probably do one just for a laugh.
yeah. Just
But
see how
although I don't
accurate
know
it
what
was.
situation you
exposed.
I don't know what situation would require just for fun to. Have you ever
Put that on the podcast now. We'll just get the lie detector.
That would be
right?
so
Part 4, the lie
cool.
detector,
Yeah.
right? So James, what do you really think is Scott?
He's just tied to a chair like, shit.
I tell you what I did do for a laugh once. I went into one of the Church of Scientologies.
Right.
You ever been in there?
No.
No.
Right, I'm not gonna. Actually, I best not. This is quite controversial, isn't it? Talking about the Church of Scientology, they kind of come after you and stuff, don't they? Well, anyway, I went into the Church of Scientology because they were offering like free stress tests.
Right.
I was in college. I was like, oh, I scored. And like, I wasn't stressed at all, by the way. But then did they put you on the stress test and you go,
And then you start stressing out.
aye, then they go, you really stressed? I was like, what? Aye, you really stressed? About what? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to buy this book and join this cult.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, religion, not cult.
There's a difference, isn't there?
Yeah, but anyway, they gave us a leaflet and let us on the way. And I was really stressed afterwards. I was like, maybe there's something in there.
I hope you edit that out and use that as a promo. Religion!
It's not a cult. It's not a cult. That's going to be like, what are they talking about?
I actually made my eyes water,
Yeah.
to be fair. That was good. Well done, James.
Yeah, I digress.
So yeah, we all agree we're letting internet history run.
Yeah, I think the internet history, because you can, even if you've looked at a few naughty sites, it's not the end of the world, is it?
Name someone who hasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me, obviously.
Yeah, because you cut the religion.
Yeah. How to Scientology.
The next one we got, so we actually didn't have another Would You Rather, but normally we struggle to get some questions from viewers. So please, if you have any questions, put them on Instagram, Facebook, email us. All the socials will be below if James does this right.
I think
This is where you're
so.
going to start adding stuff in.
Yeah, I'm going to have to learn how to do that.
If not, we'll talk about it the
Yeah.
second, third part. So sometimes I go to my brother and go, right, we've got questions. And he tries to judge character. I said, I don't know how much banter they can take. I said, oh, just whatever you want. And he gave me like 7 questions, which would cancel the podcast. I went, yeah, I'm not even going to try that.
Fair play.
So he actually gave me one, which is a pretty interesting one. I don't have an answer for it yet, so we're just kind of going to free roll it.
Okay.
The scenario is you have a paperclip, distinctive paperclip. It's got like a chip on it to prove which one it is or whatever.
Okay.
You've got an hour to hide it in your house. If you're successful, you win £1 million. The catch is, when you leave your house, the world's greatest detective will turn up and has 24 hours to find that paperclip. With the clip, you can amend it, you can straighten it out, fold it, whatever you like. You can't destroy it, you can't take it with you, etc. Where do you hide the paperclip in your house? Where do you hide it so they can't find it?
It's harder than you think, because you can put it in like a really obscure place, but because it's like
Obscure, that's where they're checking first.
that's because they're the world-class detectives.
Yeah.
They've got metal detectors,
Yeah.
and they'll have little lights to shine, so they know where. Like if it's like underneath the carpet, they can see it.
I feel like what I'd do is hopefully I'd find a kind of, you can get those, I don't know, I've seen them about, I don't have one, but hypothetically if I did, you can get those jumpers that kind of the metallic-y silver colour, and I'd almost straighten the thing out, and I'd lace it through so it's like thread, so it would kind of blend in, and then have it in a wardrobe, and it'd just be like something you could skim past.
Would you be confident? I reckon if it was the high-tech detective and they skimmed past it, they'd look
know,
at that kind of
yeah,
thing.
and there'd be like some
That's the
fold
first
they'd
thing
identify. But yeah, that was my first instinct. Where would you put it?
I don't know. I said there was like if you could get the drawing pins you get, and you just take the pin out and straighten the paperclip out and just
That's kind of
hide it in.
genius.
But then I thought the paperclip, when you straighten it out, will be about that length of some sort.
Can you chop it up?
Can't destroy it. You can only just amend it, fold it.
Yeah, then that's
But that
really
was my thought
long.
of us, because then you're dealing with that length of wire really.
'Cause that could work, to be
How
honest.
long is your paperclip?
I don't know. 2 inches.
Mega clip.
Although the genius detective will probably watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Find out where you've hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
But that's the thing with paper. Obviously, it'll start off that much, and then when you fold it out,
Yeah,
because it's
get
got like
longer.
6 folds in it, isn't it?
yeah.
Like 4 or 5 or something. Yeah.
Well, I would hide it in plain sight. So I would just have a big box,
Your paperclip.
put it in there. No, not paper clips. 'cause
Oh,
it's an
that's kind of
identifying.
genius though.
No, because you check that, and then it would be a distinctive paper
Oh,
clip,
yeah.
and then you go. That's what Mum said. She went, I'll just put my paper. Well, he would search that first.
True. Sorry.
So I'd just have a big box, and I'd basically just write on the box, if you open this, you are a pedo.
Oh no.
But I'd get the camera ready. I'll just keep it there. So he's got the dilemma of like, do I open this and be exposed for my debaucheries? But I solve the case.
I think it would
Or
be mint.
do I care so much that this person gets £1 million? I don't think I care about this person that much to destroy my reputation.
I think it would be mint. I reckon in this scenario the detective gets $1 million if he finds it. I think that's what kind of eggs him on.
Oh,
but I
yeah,
think it would be mint if you opened that box and there wasn't anything in it, and it was just a picture going,
Just your face.
There's the humiliation alone.
and he's like, oh, what? And he notices there are like 10 other boxes around the house.
with other crimes.
I think that'd be mint.
See, India, this is the kind of stuff we talk about. And it's, I don't know if people get this far into the podcast.
Not a clue. Part 2 tends to be the best bit.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. What have we had recently? We've had.
Oh, he's got notes.
I get them all written down.
Yeah.
You see. Josh has had us a couple of good ones, didn't he?
Yeah, we're going to keep them for next week, though. But
No, we've had Josh.
oh, Josh, I thought you meant
The Kieran's I've written them down. I'm not that prepared, James.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
Josh's were like, would you rather lick a homeless person's toe or eat a chewing gum that you found under the park bench and you have to swallow it?
I mean, they're both grim, aren't they?
Yeah.
Depends on the homeless person. Maybe a homeless person's toe. I don't want to swallow some. I don't know where someone's mouth has
Why does it
been.
depend on the homeless person? You can't just be like, I'll lick your toe, but not yours.
I don't know. There's got to be some that are cleaner than others. It's like everyone's. It's
Yeah,
like
well,
some
that's what I
people are
thought.
cleaner than like. I mean, obviously they're people, but like
Well, it's luck of the draw. They might be, they might not.
yeah, but maybe I get a choice, and then I can be like that toe.
You can choose the toe. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the odds are, if it's one of their toes, they probably clean it the same amount as the other 9.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's ever went in the shower and just went, I just have to be talking to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Just the pinky toe tonight.
I'll just put a little toe ring on that one. The rest will be fine.
Oh. What would you do? You swallow the gum.
I think I said lick the toe.
I swallowed
You swallow
the
the
gum.
gum, it lasts for 7 years. You lick
Yeah,
the toe,
exactly.
it lasts for like a second.
Some people just swallow gum anyway. I've never understood.
Yeah, well, I thought it'll probably
Yeah.
still have a bit of flavour in it, you know. They always have a little bit of, especially if it's like a strawberry hubba bubba.
That's what we
Oh,
said,
I
yeah.
loved those when I
I
was
love
younger.
you remember the? I don't know if they still do them anymore. I haven't seen them in ages. You know those chewing gums? It's like they're wrapped around and it's like you pull it.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of them in ages. I can't remember what they're called. I haven't found them. Do you remember them? The basic.
It like was like a snail thing.
a snail and
almost.
you pulled. It
Hubba
was like
Bubba.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was
was
Hubba
it?
Bubba.
Was it? Was that
Hubba
Hubba
Bubba.
Bubba?
But you can also get them in
They
like
did have the
tubes.
little packet things,
Well,
but
I
then
thought
it was
that's
that
what I
thing,
was
and then
thinking.
you clipped it. They had their
Oh,
little
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was
You were
that
like the
nice?
cool kid on the block if you had that.
I wasn't.
Our producers agreeing
I
with
just
us.
knew what they were.
Ah, right, yeah. We used to get them on holiday all the time.
Yeah.
Great fun. Until you ran out of them because you didn't know how much you had left, did you? That was the catch-22. But anyway, we're talking about last week's flipping question.
Technically 2 weeks ago, but it came out
I'm saying.
today.
Oh yeah, it'll be
By
2
the time
weeks
this
ago.
comes
was
out.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
We're not sure. This should be episode 6, but it could be episode 7. We're not too sure yet.
Just-
we recorded a bonus track last week, which was just us two kind of, because we jumped straight into welcome to Off the Stage. I'm Conor, this is James. Here's our guest Scott, and then here's our guest Jack, and then Jude, and then Yuma, and then Josh, and now yourself. And when audience don't know who we are.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time you listen to this, you know who we are. If not, there's going to be an episode coming out
You know who
soon.
we are, yeah.
We haven't prepped that. I don't know where I'd hide that paperclip.
Well, I think the thing is, I think the dilemma is the guy's always going to find it, isn't he?
That's what I was thinking.
Could you hide it in the washing machine? Or you get the little holes
You
inside
break
it.
the washing machine. It's a bit like how you're not meant to like make sure you have to have hairpins and stuff in there because it can like clog it.
If I'm successful and I win £1 million, I'm not forced to have the washing machine.
No, but
Not
like
to
then
sound
you
like a
know
Tory, but
because
I'd
it's
buy a
broken.
washing machine.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because you think about it, I mean, the amount of socks you lose, the amount of plectrums you lose in a washing machine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
plectrums are
scooped
horrible.
mine up the other day. I had about 7 in there. I was like, where did these come? Obviously, my jean pockets, but I was like,
I'm the same. I'm like, I turn to a gig and I've got no plectrums left. I don't know where they are, and then I'll get in the car. So, they're all down the side there. They're all there. There's some on the street. It's clearly just falling out all over the place. I don't know how you all. Do you use plectrums? Or are you a finger
No, I'm a
picker,
finger
or-
picker. Yeah.
You don't understand how often we have to pay for strings. Sadly, I have to pay for a lot of strings, but plectrums.
What, they snap them all?
Me, I snap a lot of strings.
Honest to God,
steady.
it was the sound check. Last time I played a gig, you snapped it was like the A string as well. I'm like,
My record is 7 strings in one gig.
Oh my! In one gig.
In one gig, yeah.
That's quite impressive.
Especially when the 6
Congrats.
strings on the guitar. I think the G went 3 times. I also snap a lot of low E strings. I did a duo with my mate Scott, and I'd snap a string, and he snapped an E string, and he was like, oh, this is the first time I've snapped one in 16 years, and I snapped one, and I went, oh, this is my 3rd one of the day.
You know what I think does it? And I realised this when I started doing it on my guitar. I never snap strings, and I've started doing this. And then I started snapping strings. You know, when you hit the you hit the end of the strings with your thing, because that's where it makes like the biggest bass sound, because you do that a lot. It must like snap.
So my issue with doing the loop pedal thing, because I use the guitar as a drum. Obviously you hit the bridge.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. To be fair, the last time I snapped the string, the timing was immaculate, I can't lie. So normally we end my sets with my song What You Call Home, because it's like the biggest and the most rocky and stuff. And literally on like the last bar of What You Call Home, just before it like goes quiet, and normally my lead guitarist or the bassist like carries it through just for that strip bit at the end, my high E string broke, but like perfectly with the end, and I was like, oh my god, the timing could not be more. But it was kind of like epic.
That was like, you might as well
sticking
just
out.
Smash the guitar after that. You know, it's the end of the set.
Exactly. You know,
Cool.
It was a choice, obviously. Yeah.
You were meant to do it, obviously.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's rock and roll, snapping strings.
Oh yeah.
Probably hide the paperclip in like a mattress.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But then by that standard, you could just like literally put it under the house, under the floorboards. But this guy is like, he's gonna hunt you down.
What's he gonna do? Metal detect me springs?
He might.
He might do.
He's a super detective.
He is, but that's a chance I'm willing to take. Got to get on the sides, you know, where like it's all stitched in kind of thing.
No, that's a good point. I wouldn't even know.
Let us know what you would do. Put it in the comments below. I don't know. It's
where we are.
Depends how you might have put us upside down. The comments, I don't know.
It's probably the phone that's to put us upside down. My camera.
Is the phone still on? Oh,
yes,
we're in the second part, and we've still got visuals. It's great.
It's took us. It's the 6th episode now, isn't it?
Possibly
the 6th. The 6th outing of thing to actually finally get a stand. So I can position the camera just right, because if you notice every time, sometimes I'm completely like out of shot. The last one, like you were kind of hidden by the mic, because it was.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn. So I put it at a height.
You're moving up in the world.
I'm just slowly improving.
The first podcast we did, we were holding the microphones, and it felt like an interview, and it was really awkward.
Yeah.
And like Scott would have his microphone down there while he was talking, and the second one we went right, mic stands. The cool little Diddy ones, very stable.
Yeah, they're cool. Like,
yeah, they're cute.
Yeah.
And we've just slowly built it up. Now I'm buying a really nice fancy camera. The wife doesn't know yet. Sorry, Kat.
It'll be beautiful. It'll be worth
it. She better be watching the podcast. If she tells you off, I'll be happy that she follows the podcast.
That's true. It's going to be your test.
I'll start doing that. Just start buying wacky stuff, and then just be like, I'll put it on the podcast.
So
then we'll see if my missus is watching it.
You get at least one viewer every year.
Mint, I think that's part 2 done.
Yeah, that's absolutely part 2.
Yeah, the paperclip was the final one I had. We'll come back in part 3. We'll discuss some of the original tunes, and then we'll get you to play an original tune.
Nice.
Yes.
That'd be cool. We'll see you there.
See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please do remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell on the YouTube to notify you of any comments. And yeah, comment below. The more algorithm we can build up, the more audience we can kind of grow. Leave reviews, press the thumbs up. Don't press the thumbs down. Wouldn't like that one.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, let's get Off the Stage popular. It'd be great to increase the viewer. We'll not take much of your time out. Enjoy the rest of the episode, but do press like and subscribe.
Yep. See you in a bit. Thank you. We are back for part 3.
Yes.
Where we get to ask Inja about her music.
Yes.
And her upcoming releases and everything like that.
Yes.
So have you got anything? What?
Just yes.
So yeah, have you got any upcoming releases? Any?
There's something in store. Like, big things are brewing, is what I can say. Like,
Awesome.
we've been recording over the last few months with loads of different people. Been playing with Adam Sams, my guitarist at the minute, who plays with me, and he's been putting down some stuff for some of my tracks. Same with Jake Baines, who's my bassist. But then I've also got people down in London. A guy who goes by the name, like, musically, is a guy called Mem, who's just insane. And then I always will work with my lovely producer at Log Audio, who I will forever rep, because he's just insane. He's so good.
Has he done all of your songs?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, like what's your recording process like? Because I've listened to all your songs. I put them on a shuffle, and they're all quite like consistent in terms of the quality and how they sound. I'm wondering, like, you must have the same producer.
Yeah,
so.
I love. He's called Will. Like, I love working with Will. He's such an interesting producer to work with as well, because I think a lot of people I've met who produce and mix and all that, they often have gone to music school and have this really formal training of how things are done, and there's very specific rules about production. But the thing I really like about Will is that he's completely self-taught, and so he has all these like weird, quirky ways of doing things, and I think I'm always down for something weird.
Yeah,
so I'm kind
cool,
of here for all this kind of fun and he's so open to do wild things, which I'm always here for. Yeah, and I think the production just keeps getting better and better as we're recording more and more. I mean, the EP No Innocent Bystander was, I think, the first time we really started pushing the boundaries with the production of my songs, like photo taxing particularly, and I think it's completely revolutionised the way that I think about songwriting and how that transitions from just me playing with my guitar and to like it being a full-fledged song.
It's the advantage of like having someone who is self-taught, because he's basically he's still learning, so he's always learning, finding new things.
Yeah, it's all
think outside the
experimentation.
box. Yeah, you think
Yeah,
outside the box.
100%.
You're not scared to do stuff like that. I mean, it's also where'd you do you like record in like a studio,
Yeah, well,
it's different studios and stuff?
Kinda. So normally if I'm recording with Will, he has like a little home studio back down south in St Albans, and so we're normally recording there. But at the minute, because I've just ended up working with loads of different musicians for the stuff that's coming, the good stuff. So we've had a bit of, DIing guitars and sending them over and doing like a million Zoom calls with me and Will, like mixing on like over Zoom and stuff like that, which it's got its challenges, but I think it's been going well. It's
It's cool as well. It's a learning curve, isn't it, if anything. No, that's cool as well. I only ever ask because whenever I hear some songs and I quite like it, especially the production value, I've always got, so how did they do that?
Yeah.
So we should get producers on the show. I know they can't do the song afterwards, but
we have an extra slot for a mic. We could get a producer and an actor.
And an actor, yeah. I need to ask him questions. How do you mix this and that? Well, it would be just like a DIY, how like teaching me how to mix my own songs kind of thing, like
off the stage tutorials.
Yeah.
I think using pedals and things that you don't expect has, for my music at least, has revolutionised the way that me and Will create my songs. Like the amount of I mean, there's an endless supply of different pedals. You've got pitch shifters and you've got arpeggiators and shimmers and stuff like that, and adding it into like things you wouldn't expect and having it as part of the mix is so subtle. Or like as an isolated piece, you'd understand that, oh yeah, this saxophone is actually a saxophone, but it sounds like some weird other squawky thing in the background. But in the context of a song, it adds, I mean, it's all about building atmosphere and adding little tweaks of this and that and the other. And I think modernising through use of pedals and stuff is definitely, in my opinion, the way forward with how to do production with songs, because everything's already been written when you really think about it, with all the music and stuff. And so all you can do is
find different ways to...
you got to be creative with it and get weird.
It's such an underrated thing in a song, like a producer. You know, I was,
100%.
I was watching it. I think it must have been like the Grammys or something like that, like a music award show, and each song it had the artist and it had the producer name. So I felt like this is in the 70s. I felt back then like producers had a lot more kind of influence or more fame kind of thing. They're more recognised, because you hear songs now that sound fantastic and nobody tells you who the producer
And you just
is.
see the artist name on it.
Yeah, you
Like
just
James
see-
Berry.
But it's half the job a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's half
Um,
their baby. Like
yeah,
as much
that's-
yours as
that's it,
theirs.
aye.
Yeah.
So it always fascinates us, like the creation process of like recording a song, because there's little things, little tiny nuggets in these songs that you would know if you were doing it, but like to the average listener, it would just pass you by.
100%.
Yeah.
When I first started, because I had never had any previous formal musical training at all, me like putting out a song. Like it's me figuring out weird shapes on a guitar. And so like when I was listening to songs and stuff, I'd find it like I couldn't isolate sounds, whereas since I've obviously recorded songs and I know every single tiny little thing that's gone into it, I can now differentiate parts, and it's completely changed my listening experience to other music, because I'm breaking things down like through habit.
I do that
almost.
so much. There's so many songs I do that, and someone's like, "How are you picking that up?" It's like, well, that's like
You train yourself.
Yes, because when you hear the isolated track, then it's so. Which is what the other hard thing. If you're ever mixing your own songs, when you isolate that track and then you put it back into the main track, that's all you can hear. So you're like, but it sounds fine to everyone else, but you think, oh, that needs turning down, but it doesn't need turning down. It's just your brain's focused on that little.
It's subtleties. Yeah.
I love when you pick the little bits that nobody's noticed yet.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit, I think it's Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy, and I'll just be there going, yeah, and it was, what are you doing? That's what you're singing. No, it's not. Really listen to it, and then they, she said, but that's where it is.
That's
it's
what
like,
I said.
I do Shape of You on the loop pedal for Ed Sheeran, and he's got his main riff, which everybody knows. There's like a hidden secret melody in there as well, and it's like the reverse riff kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'll do that on the loop and go, that works. How did you make that up? That's on the track. Just really listen to it.
Yeah.
And I tend to pinpoint little bits on the track and hear each individual thing that's gone into the track. I don't know.
That's
if
great.
That's normal or
That's cool. Well,
Add your own flair to it.
Yeah. So I was glass to the producers out there,
Yeah, big
unheard
up.
of. Yeah, there we go.
You got any shows coming up?
I
Any
do. I
original
have
acts?
lots of exciting shows coming up from next month. We've got a headline show at Bobbick's in Newcastle on the 27th. I want to say. Yeah, Newcastle.
That's it.
27th of this month.
20 August.
August. All right. Okay. That's if it was this month, I would have like fast tracked you to
Yeah,
advertise it. You know.
I think this comes out on 26th of July, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the 19th or 26th of July. So any shows after then, you find to advertise. If you start advertising the 15th of July, no one's going to be able to get a ticket.
You missed it. We've also got a show on the 26th at Northern Guitars in Leeds. We're headlining that as well, which is really exciting. Ooh. Sorry to pull my
Do
thing.
you have a name for the band, or is it just yourself?
It's just me and I don't know, me and my band.
Right, obviously you get like Sam Fender, but it's Sam Fender the band, isn't it? It's not just him as a guitarist.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying previously, the musicians I work with, they're completely kind of evolving quite consistently, just because a lot of people I started working with were like uni students, and then people graduate, and everyone's doing their own things and stuff. My band at the minute is wicked. As I mentioned earlier, because I've been in some of my recordings, I've got Jake Baines on bass, and I've got Adam Sams on guitar, and I would definitely recommend anyone who's looking for incredible instrumentalists to go check them out, because they are phenomenal musicians. Yeah, it's been really exciting. Oh, and then we also have, for any Southern listeners, a show coming up on the 6th of August at the Horn in St Albans. So come down, supporting TV Cobra. They're sick.
So if people wanted to find more shows, how do they find you? Where are you on the socials?
Yes, the best thing to do is, I'm most active on Instagram, which my tag is at india.arkin, ARKIN. And if not, I'm on Facebook at India Arkin Music, or on Twitter at India Arkin. And then for all of my music stuff, you can just find me on Spotify, YouTube, and any other major streaming service. Yeah.
Brilliant. For any Off the Stage listeners, if you want to follow us, we are on Facebook and Instagram as Off the Stage UK. Email us offthestageuk@gmail.com. Let us know any musicians you want on the show, big or small. We'll email them. Doesn't mean they'll respond, but we'll definitely try. If you want to tweet us, we're Off the Stage 2 because some bastard stole our Off the Stage UK domain and we can't use that. So it's annoying because we were so close to having the perfect. Like TikTok, we're on that Off the Stage UK, but Twitter is Off the Stage 2. Somebody has Off the Stage UK and they put one tweet about 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, never done
That's
anything.
so annoying.
They don't even have a
domain.
profile picture. Just a blank
That's
tweet.
like even worse.
I
'cause
know,
it's
a
not
piss take,
active.
innit? Yeah.
It's
Oh.
almost if a time traveller knew that we were going to do this thing and thought, you know what, I'm just going to mess with them.
Maybe time travel's a thing, right? And this God
We are.
forbid doesn't pan out and one of us has a grudge against it and go, fuck it, Twitter.
But, or maybe they know it's going to be a success and because we keep making
A point about it. That's what does
to
it.
make conversation. Yeah,
Time
that
travel
has to be,
logic.
that has
That's
to be
it.
it. Proof. It's
We just discovered time travel.
Yeah, we did.
In this podcast, great.
Yes.
If you listen on Spotify, give us a 5-star review. If you listen on Amazon, give us a review. Do you use Amazon podcasts?
I use Apple Podcasts.
Don't get me started on that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We haven't got Apple sorted yet. If you don't understand why everyone's laughing, check out Josh's podcast. I have a good 7-minute rant about how I love Apple products, but they have made my life so frustrating. Cannot sign up to Apple Podcasts for some reason. and
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Just listen to the podcast, right? Fucking Apple. I don't use Amazon, but if you can leave that a review. If you've got YouTube, like, subscribe, notification bell, etc., etc.
Do it.
What else are we on?
I think Google Podcasts. I don't think many people. Most people use Spotify or Apple. To be fair, but if
Pretty
you're on
much.
Google, use Google Podcasts.
Whatever you're on, try and review it.
If you don't subscribe to anywhere, if you follow our links, we're on Anchor FM as well, which is absolutely free. You can listen to all of our stuff on there.
Yes.
We're Off the Stage UK also.
The more reviews, the more algorithm, the more viewers we get. The more viewers we get, the bigger there are artists that wants to come in. We're about to hit a milestone. I think it's like episode 7 or something now. When we get to episode 10, we're going to try and get a roughly big name in. We've got an idea on who it's going to be.
Yeah.
Not obviously it's Sheeran standard, but like big name for the Northeast kind of thing. And then we'll do that every episode 20, 50, 100. So the more viewers, the more reviews we get, the better chance we've got of getting somebody decent in. If you're not liking the podcast, leave a review. Don't listen to us again. Just still gives us the review. But before we go, at the end of every episode, we always have our guest play an original song. So what song are you going to play? Tell us about your tune.
I'm going to play my debut single, which is a song called Dashboard Dancing. I chose this song to play because, to be honest, it's quite a sentimental song for me because it was kind of the thing that started everything. So I thought it was the perfect way to end it. Yeah.
That's nice. Well, I dare say that I've really enjoyed. I don't know if it's because of my 2 pints, but I've really enjoyed. I think.
Can't say 2 pints when you've got.
Well, I know. Well, I'm in the middle.
pint
I'm
left.
I reckon this has been the peaked.
Okay.
Like we was talking about before. I'm trying to wrap up. I'm trying to from the start of the podcast to the end. We're talking about peaking and all that.
So James, what are you drinking?
I don't even know what this is. You bought it for us.
That's great. Well, we'll see you next week.
Well, thank you very much, India. And we'll be back. Let's get you set up and.
I'm ready.
Before we go, please pre-order my single coming out in August. I should have done that before. I'm competing for a physical charts position. I need to sell roughly 400 CDs to get a UK #1. Fingers crossed that happens. We're on 37 so far. It's a long way to go, but I've got 5 weeks to do it. So either the episode next or the one that's just been on, I've talked about it before. Single Home is going to be out 19th of August. Please buy as many CDs as you can. And if you can buy 50, that'd be great. James already bought 10.
I literally bought 10.
Oh, what good friends.
It adds up to the numbers. $2.99 per CD, and hopefully we get a proper little official UK #1. That's going to be amazing. That
cool.
pink and blue thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Now to your song. Enjoy.
Thank you. I'm India Arkin, and this song is Dashboard Dancing. Lay down your head now, I'm waiting for silence. You walk in, I'm talking, the words are coming out, but you are coming home. Are you alone tonight? And you won't stay unknown. Pick up your phone, but she's dancing on the dashboard, and you can't seem to catch much more of her precious time, but you'll find her on the sofa, and she knocked out and bone cold dry. She's euthanized, but you I'm coming home. You're not alone tonight, but you won't stay alone. Pick up your phone, but you don't even know my name, and you don't even feel the same, do you? And you don't even feel my worth, but you never did. No, you never did. But she's dancing on the dashboard, and you can't seem to catch much more of her precious time, but you find her on the sofa, and she knocked out and bone cold dry. She's euthanized tonight. Tonight, she is euthanized.